it would be impossible to overstate what this must be like for Pope Leo XIV from the United States. Let's listen.
Robert Prevost, The Journey to Becoming the New Pope. In a historic and surprising turn of events, Robert Francis Prevost was elected as the new Pope of the Roman Catholic Church. Born in the United States and raised in a deeply Catholic environment, Prevost's election signals a new chapter for the Vatican, where North American perspectives and pastoral compassion meet tradition and reform. His rise to the highest spiritual office in the Catholic Church is the culmination of decades of service, scholarship, and leadership within the global Catholic community. Early life and education. Robert Francis Prevost was born on September 14, 1955, in Chicago, Illinois, to American parents of mixed European descent. Raised in a modest working-class Catholic family, Prevost grew up with a deep sense of faith and community. He attended Catholic schools throughout his youth, where he was known for his academic excellence and spiritual maturity. After high school, Prevost entered the Augustinian order, a Roman Catholic religious order inspired by the teachings of St. Augustine. He pursued his undergraduate studies in philosophy and theology, eventually earning degrees from Villanova University, a prominent Catholic institution run by the Augustinians. He later continued his theological education at the Catholic Theological Union in Chicago and later received a doctorate in canon law from the Pontifical University of St. Thomas Aquinas, Angelicum, in Rome. Missionary work and pastoral life. Prevost's life took a pivotal turn when he was sent as a missionary to Peru in the 1980s. For nearly 2 decades, he served in one of the country's poorest and most neglected regions, Chulucanas, Piura. There, he worked directly with indigenous and rural communities, offering spiritual guidance, building churches, training local clergy, and advocating for social justice. His missionary work deeply shaped his pastoral philosophy. He believed in a church that listens, walks with the poor, and addresses the root causes of suffering. Unlike more administrative priests, Prevost was known for being accessible, humble, and intensely committed to service. He also became fluent in Spanish, enabling him to bond closely with the local population. In 1999, he was appointed as Prior Provincial of the Augustinians in Chicago, and shortly thereafter, he was named Prior General of the Worldwide Augustinian Order in Rome, a position he held from 2001 to 2013. This gave him international visibility and experience in global church governance. Rise within the Vatican. Following his tenure as Prior General, Pope Francis took note of Prevost's leadership skills and theological insight. In 2014, he was appointed by the Pope as the Bishop of Chiclayo, a large diocese in northern Peru. This appointment marked his transition from religious leadership to the diocesan episcopacy, and he quickly earned a reputation as a reformer and spiritual shepherd. In January 2023, Pope Francis appointed him prefect of the dicastery for bishops, one of the most powerful roles in the Vatican. In this position, Prevost was responsible for overseeing the selection of bishops around the world, a critical role in shaping the future leadership of the Church. His leadership was marked by transparency, inclusiveness, and a focus on appointing pastoral, not political, bishops. His proximity to Pope Francis and alignment with the Pope's vision of a synodal church made him a trusted advisor. He was created a cardinal later that year, further affirming his status as one of the key figures in the Vatican's inner circle. Election as Pope. Following the unexpected resignation of Pope Francis in 2025 due to health reasons, the conclave of cardinals convened to elect the next pope. After several rounds of voting, Cardinal Robert Prevost emerged as a consensus candidate. He was seen as someone who could continue the legacy of Pope Francis while also bringing a new energy and global perspective to the role. Prevost accepted the papacy and chose the name Francis II, paying homage to his predecessor's commitment to the poor and the environment. His election marked several historic firsts. He became the first American-born pope, the first Augustinian pope in modern history, and the second consecutive pope from the Americas. Lifestyle and personal traits. Despite his new title and global responsibilities, Pope Francis II is known for his humble lifestyle. Before his papacy, He lived simply, avoided luxury, and preferred traveling light, even as a bishop. As Pope, he has chosen to reside in the Domus Sancti Marthi, the Vatican guesthouse, instead of the more opulent Apostolic Palace, just as Pope Francis did. He is often seen without elaborate vestments and continues to emphasize servant leadership. Pope Francis too enjoys reading, gardening, and spending quiet time in reflection. He has been described as an introvert with a deep spiritual core, but also as someone who is warm and affable in personal conversation. Vision and priorities as Pope. Pope Francis too has already laid out a vision centered around pastoral outreach, inclusiveness, interfaith dialogue, and ecological responsibility. Building on the legacy of Pope Francis, he aims to make the Church more welcoming, especially to marginalized communities, including the poor, migrants, and LGBTQ+ individuals. He is a strong proponent of synodality, a concept where the Church operates more through consultation and collaboration rather than hierarchical command. This aligns with his belief that the Church must listen more deeply to the voices of lay people, especially women and youth. Pope Francis too is also expected to play a leading role in addressing the global climate crisis. As a former missionary who witnessed environmental degradation firsthand, he speaks with moral urgency about the need for ecological justice, inspired by Pope Francis's encyclical Laudato Si. On clerical reforms, he has expressed support for increased accountability, especially in cases of abuse and financial mismanagement. Though doctrinally traditional in many respects, he believes that pastoral compassion must take precedence over rigid enforcement of rules. Legacy in the making. While his papacy is still in its early days, Robert Prevost, now Pope Francis II, is being hailed as a bridge builder and a pastor of the people. His combination of theological depth, pastoral experience, and institutional leadership makes him uniquely suited to guide the Church through a time of global upheaval and spiritual searching. His American background, missionary heart, and Vatican experience give him a truly global outlook. As he steps into this monumental role, the world watches with hopeful eyes. Robert Prevost's journey from Chicago's neighborhoods to the throne of St. Peter is not just a story of religious ascent, it's a testament to faith, humility, and the enduring power of servant leadership.